Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Hairy Muppet, and we are going to be casting a 1v1 Masters level game up the top left side of the map. We do have our red Zerg player Taro, who I believe is in Diamond League, and down the bottom right side we do have our blue Terran player AFIsurvive, who I believe is in Masters League. He's going to be a blue Terran player. I may have cast one of his games previously. Feels like I cast a 4v4 game, but the one I'm thinking of may have been a relatively old game. Sorry, not an old game, like a Silver Bronze League. I don't know, I'm getting distracted. My phone is buzzing away because I put it on silent, but it's still vibrating, so it's a pain in the ass. But there we go, we're going to have a look around, we're going to see what's happening. Nice fast scouting drone. Not sure why he really needs to scout it that fast, because it's a Terran, so there's really no craziness going to be seen for the first 2 or 3 minutes. You might be going for like a, I don't know, proxy hatch or something like that, something crazy. Maybe he just wants to block this barracks. That is an interesting tactic. He's actually got the first hit, so he's going to take this SCV out, but the drone will die right about then. He should have finished off this SCV actually, but there we go. Delayed the barracks for a little bit. Not sure if that was worth losing the drone though. I would like to think that it wasn't. But regardless, each player just going to keep on keeping on, sending out another drone to get out his hatchery right here. So he's going to bounce straight into a hatchery, and then a spawning pool soon after. And our red player, man, being in Diamond League, usually it's pretty awesome, but he's going against a Masters player here, so he's going to have to see exactly what he could pull out to take this guy down. And AFI, our blue Terran player, I guess we can expect some really good things for him. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing. He's got the supply depot barely built there. That is just basically to block out the scout. Unfortunately, the scout got here a lot earlier, but it really doesn't matter because nothing was built at that point. So it's going to build the factory over there. Thought better of it. Decided to build it back there. Of course, back here it's a lot harder to scout. Overlord's coming in though. We'll see it, but this Overlord is on the wrong side. The closer Overlord, so it's going to take him ages to get down there. And this guy looks pretty gruesome. I really think that these guys just look like a bad Michael Jackson job or something like that. The level 20 Overlords, yeah, very gruesome. But there we go, they're going to go down, and we do have the spawning pool nearly finished here. We've got the hatchery nearly finished, so getting those timed out to finish exactly is, yeah, it's a really good job to do that. And of course that means that you can build 2 queens straight away, which is a very strong position to be in, building 2 queens as soon as they're available. And he's actually got some gas out, so he can get the link speed as well. So in a few minutes he's going to be very dangerous defensively as well as offensively, and he's going to need to be, because there they go, the Hellions being pumped out of the factory. Ooh. Oh, I think I've been drinking too much. Not booze at all, just apple juice and stuff. And of course the cough isn't completely gone, but there we go. A couple of Hellions coming out. He'll build a couple more. Usually get about 4 or 6. And we do have a nuclear... No, sorry, it's not a nuke silo anymore. It's a Ghost Academy. But it functions as a nuke silo. So there we go. These Lings going to come in. Going to see the Hellions. They're going to know what's up. And there we go, the Queens have got to get ready to push these guys away. He's going to get a spine crawler down. Hellions are going to run straight past, going to start roasting some drones. And there we go. Going to take them all out. Going to do some nice damage. That's 2 drones down so far. Ling's on the creep though. It's going to be enough to chase these Hellions away. But 2 more Hellions on the way now. 4 Hellions is going to be decent enough to get into the main base, and after there they should be able to do a fair amount of damage. There we go, trying to kill those Lings, with the Lings not quite dying there. And here we go, we've got the first Ghost coming out and the first nuclear missile coming out, as well as a couple more Hellions, just to keep up the harass, I guess. The Zerg player, meanwhile, yeah, not sure what he's going to be able to do. He really needs to get some detection out fairly soon. But the Terran player, man, he's really shooting himself in the foot here. Just getting out this, because these damn things, they cost like 200 mils, 200 gas or something like that. And so he's got to do a crap ton of damage. And early on in the game, I mean, you'll see the red, hopefully the red player will see the red dot. You run his units out of the way, he will lose barely anything. I mean, nuking buildings is a fair tactic later on in the game, but early in the game when the nuclear missiles just cost so much and they're so expensive, I'm not sure sending out 3 or 4 nukes to take out a building is really worth it. So he's got to get some units, and I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I mean, as long as the red player is on the ball, taking care of moving his drones out of the way, then I'm not sure it's going to happen. I don't think there's even a ghost cloaking is even out yet. He's got the ghost. He's going to try a long range nuke out there. That's really not going to hit anything though. I mean, the blue player's thinking about pushing through there, but of course he doesn't want to get nuked by his own thing. This is going to be bad. The red player sorely misjudged the timing of that nuclear missile and the position of that nuclear missile. He totally got about 6 workers dead there. It's not as bad as it could have been, but he could have just left the workers where they were and none of them probably would have died. He saw that too late and I think he panicked, and as a result he did lose about 6 workers there. So, not good for him. He's down equal to the Terran player at the moment, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world for the Zerg player. And yeah, he's congratulating his opponent on his nuclear play. And meanwhile he's going to get up a bunch of units, and we can fully expect him to get some detection. He's got a spore crawler up there, got another one up there. Of course these aren't super good, because of course a ghost could shoot a nuke that would hit workers from all the way over there, and the spore crawler can't detect it. So he really needs to get this lair up, really needs to get an overseer out there. And yeah, I mean, with a bunch of roaches around, as long as he sees the ghost, I mean 20 seconds is how long it takes for a nuke to come down. So as long as he can see the ghost when it starts to cast, even when it's over there, roaches can walk all the way over there, kill it in about 20 seconds. I don't think that should be a major problem. Becomes a bit more of a problem with these kings coming up, but yeah, I mean, as long as he's got the overseers out, he's got a lot of creep to run his units around fairly fast, should be fine. It's it all comes down to whether the whether the Terran player could put multiple ghosts out at the same time as he's doing attacks, like if he Hellion rushes in there and meanwhile nukes at the main base. That's going to be a little bit hard to find that ghost and kill it. He may just have to run his workers away at that point, just take the hit and save as many workers as he can, which is extremely easy to do. But the Terran player here, man, he's doing 2 ghost academies off 1 base. This is extremely interesting, and I am going to say not very smart at all. He hasn't even built a command center to fly over there. So this, I don't know, it's almost like he's the next few minutes are going to be all in for him, because yeah, unless he expands. If he expands in the next couple of minutes, he should be fine, but if he doesn't expand, then the Zerg player is just going to go nuts, and I have no idea. He's 15 workers behind, and the Terran player can't build any more workers. Well, he can. He's got a few buildings somewhere, but once these guys come back, he'll be oversaturated, and there, the first mineral patch has gone down, so he needs an expansion desperately. If he doesn't get one, then his income is just going to go down to the point where he cannot compete with the Zerg player. The Zerg player is on 2 bases, he's getting on a 3rd, his economy is really good. The Terran player, man, he's, I gotta say, he's disappointing me a little bit for a Masters player. He's going in there, he's doing some good damage, Marauders and Widow Mines. The splash damage from the Widow Mines managed to kill them all. I think the Roaches helped as well with the Overseer. And the Marauders managing to help them out. The Hellions just sort of a shield for the Queens at the moment. And 2 Ghosts coming out there. They're going to land a nuke down. But right there he goes. This is a brilliant move. Sending the Hellions out. They're going to roast the drones as they're running away. And of course the nuke forcing them to run away. He really should cancel this nuke right now. It's pretty pointless, but he lets it go down. Kills an Overseer and a Queen. Or maybe that was a Roach, I don't know. A bit of a waste of a nuke there. He already did the damage he needed to do with the Hellions. But there we go. He's going to keep on going on. He's starting to run out of Marauders though. He's getting a ton of snipes going out from the Ghost. He still does not have cloaking on the way, but he is going to finish off this hatchery. So that is going to be a pretty decisive blow from the Terran player. He did quite a bit of damage there, and he did quite a bit of worker damage. Not as much as he could have done though. If those Hellions had blue flame, pretty much all of those drones would have been roasted, but unfortunately he didn't quite manage it. Meanwhile, the Zerg player, he's definitely not out of the game yet. I don't think he's... I'm not even sure if he's ahead. If the Terran player is ahead of that. He's only just now building the second command center, so I'd say he's still behind just from not having the economy going down. That nuke put him a little bit closer to being in front, but I would not say that he's in front at the moment. I might even go so far as to say that he is still a little bit behind. I mean, look at the forces. The Zerg player's coming down. He's not actually... Alright, we're going to say they're even. I'm just looking at the army count here, and the Zerg player still building up quite a bit. Look at these guys going in. He's nearly lost the two Ghosts there. They barely survived. Another medevac coming around the backside. Just some Hellions in here. They're going to roast a few more drones, but there's already one Hellion and a Queen out there. So that's going to hit a few of them. Hellion's going to get some nice kills there. A few more drones coming down. But here we go with the Roaches, and the Hellions all get wiped out. There we go. These forces moving away. I'm not sure why they're leaving that open, because it just leaves these guys to drop down again. But they come right back. They've just got a beautiful creep spread here from the Zerg player. That's something I haven't mentioned so far. But this creep spread, really, really awesome. He could take this base quite easily and defend it quite easily just because of the massive amount of creep spread he's got. There we go. He's going to move in once again. Going to try and do a nuke maybe. He still doesn't have cloak though. Oh, no. What am I saying? He does have cloak. Where is the Overseer? If you don't know exactly where it is, get the drones out of there. That's what he's doing. Excellent job here. That medevac, not really able to do this much. And I think this Ghost, oh, luckiest Ghost ever, man. He barely survived that. He might have done more damage if he had just sniped some drones. But there we go. He is going to get lifted out of there. The Zerg player, man, he is not a bronze. He is a diamond level. He knows how to run his workers away when a nuke is coming down. So there we go. Good job on him so far. But it's really not that tough. Another thing that's not that tough is getting your expansion before the 17-minute mark. But our blue Terran here, man, he's doing some awesome drops. He's doing some awesome damage. But as far as his economy is concerned, he is a bronze league player all the way, man. I'm very disappointed at how slow he got this expansion out, and I'm not afraid to say it either. AFIsurvive expansion, man, you've got to work on that. I know you've got nukes and stuff to play with, but you cannot neglect your economy. It will go bad for you. Although he has, I don't think he's been spending a hell of a lot, which is why he's been doing so well. I mean, yeah, he hasn't been getting out a massive army or anything like that. And the Zerg player has to constantly move his workers away and all that sort of stuff all over the place. But he has got a fairly decent army. Terran player. Hydras versus Marauders. Marauders not too good. But the Hydras are not as large in number as they might have been. They're going to run away. A couple of Winnow Mine attacks probably helped out a bit there. The Marauders going to run in there. And they are definitely going to do some... I'd expect once he gets some more Hydras out to be able to take care of this force without too many problems. But it may be too late. Just all these beefy Marauders, man, doing so much damage. They're starting to get whittled down now, but some reinforcements are going to keep this party going. I think the Zerg may finish off these forces though. These 1-1 upgrades really doing a good job. The Terran only with 0-0. That's another thing. Masters player, man. You are a Masters player, Mr. Blue Terran. You should be getting your upgrades. You should be getting your upgrades and getting an expansion. He's been quite slack, but then again, if I had nukes to play with, I would be quite slack too. So we can't give him too much grief. Just a little bit though, because he is a Masters player. So there we go. The Zerg player keeping on top of it. He's actually, he lost quite a bit of workers there. He's going to have to get back up there. We saw that before. He was building 8 drones, and he's got to keep this base sorted out. A Ghost coming down here did quite a bit of damage before, but it looks like he's back on track. He's building a crap ton of Hydralis, and the Terran maybe needs to think about some tanks or something like that to deal with that. He does have Widow Mines, and they will be good if he gets the positioning right. He's thinking about a third base right here. He's actually got a fourth on the way. This may be a defensive planetary, or it may be in preparation for a fourth base, but I gotta say that's very ballsy if he's going for a fourth base. And he needs to catch up on economy, but that's pushing it, man. I don't know if it's fourth base is a very good idea. I'm guessing a defensive planetary though from this guy, and that would not be a half bad idea considering how many lings are on the board. This is going to be orbital command though, so it's either going to be a fourth base, or it's just going to be a macro base for popping down mules and stuff all over the place, which is not a bad idea. I mean, you might as well get it early, pop down a whole bunch of mules. Actually, this is technically his third base, because yeah, he actually moved out his main base. I don't know why he did that. He was he's forgotten to tell these workers that move their command center away, but here we go. Nice bit of drop up here. Queen almost gets taken out. These guys choosing to hit the spawning pool instead of the drones. That's a bit of a mistake, but they are going to get back up in the dropship. And very interesting point. I mean, how come the medevacs can't heal the troops while they're inside the medevac? You think it'd be a lot easier to heal them while they're inside the medevac, but no. And that was a bit stupid. I mean, he went out and then he went back in right next to an overlord. I mean, the Zerg knew he was there. They knew he had it run away and he was coming back, and it's just not worked. It looks like the Terran player has given up the nukes for now. He's just going for some typical triple M drop action sort of stuff going down, so that should be fine. The Zerg player meanwhile continuing to get his harvesters up. He's in the lead again versus the Terran player, and oh, these guys are in a bit of a dangerous position. The spine crawler just mincing through the Marines. The medevac barely surviving, but the Hydras are going to take it down. And there we go, these guys going down, but they didn't really do... Actually, they did manage to take out the spawning pool, so that's a bit unfortunate for the Zerg player, but yeah, it's just another building that he has to rebuild. It's not going to slow him down too much. He's teched into Roach Hydra now, so not having lings anymore, it's not going to be that bad. But here we go, he's got down the base up here, and he's got his fourth base down. So there we go, this medevac's still trying to do stuff. He is keeping the Zerg player very defensively minded though, which is a good thing, because the Zerg player moves out, he could take out this base, and that would be very bad for the Terran player. So yeah, keeping the forces in his base, very good option. Zerg player, however, going for mutas. Oh, actually, no, he's going for a spy. I don't know if he's going for mutas. Mutas might not be that good of an option. There's no tanks for them to snipe. It's just a crap load of Marines and Marauders. So mutas wouldn't be a very good option. Maybe Broodlords. Broodlords wouldn't be too bad. They're very slow, but yeah, maybe. Or he may just be going for Corruptors to snipe out the medevacs. I've seen that a few times. You get a bunch of Corruptors, you send them in, you just start whacking out the medevacs, and the Triple M, they do not last nearly as long when they start losing all their medevacs. So there we go, that could be an option, and that is going to be my pick. He's going to put down a bunch of Corruptors to counter the medevacs. But here we go again. He's going to take out the Evo chamber, and this one is actually researching something. So there we go, there's a good hit. But there we go, it's not much the Zerg player could do, but he's pushing in anyway. He's going for the attack here. It looks like he might not need the Corruptors, because these medevacs are very much out in the open. And there we go. I think the Zerg player might be in a bit of trouble here. Oh, he's got more forces than I thought hidden under that medevac. So, yeah, he's doing alright. He's 30 supply ahead of the Terran player, and he's got I've got to say, a bit more macro. But no, the Terran player, 3 Marauders and 10 Marines at a time. So that is not a small amount going on. But yeah, I think he must have seen the Spire, our Terran player. I say that because... Where is the damn Spire anyway? Yeah, it does look like he saw that Spire. I can tell because he's building a crapload of missile turrets all over the place now. So he's a bit worried about mutas harassing his infantry. Harassing his bases, sorry. So yeah, but, I mean, the main thing he should be worried about is this massive Grand Army. And I still don't think he's got enough forces to effectively take it out. He's just putting dropships everywhere to try and do a bit of harass. But yeah, I mean, it's these guys are just going to die all over the place. Manages to save 3, but with the mutas on top of all the hydras, man, it's just not going to happen. The Zerg has a very, very scary force, and I don't think the Terran player has an answer for it as of yet. I mean, he's got Widow Mines, he's got Marines, Marauders, and tanks, but I don't think he has enough of any of those units to really counter this massive force. And I mean, sending mutas into the mix, and now he's got Banelings coming out as well. The Zerg player is just all over the place. He's got all sorts of different units. It's extremely hard to find a good mix that counters every single one of them. I mean, he's getting tanks out now, but yeah. And I mean, 1-1 upgrades. It's good, but it's not as good as it could be. I mean, at the 28-minute mark, I mean, I'd expect to see 2-2, if not 3-3 by this point. He's starting up 2-2 now, but there we go. He's going to have to see what's going on. One Overlord coming in. He's going to see this base, and that's good for him. This guy's coming in. This is a fairly good position for the Terran player, but I think he's just going to get overwhelmed here. I don't think there's much chance of him surviving this attack, simply because there's just so many units. I mean, what can you do against this many units? Really, the answer is nothing. I mean, the Zerg player, man, he had 4 bases for longer than the Terran player had. He really got the economy going, and the Terran player just did not push his production as much as he could. We have a look at the income. What was that? He's 20 down. He lost a fair amount of SCVs there, but I think most of them were probably mules. So yeah, he's approximately 20 down. He just did not have enough. He did not really push himself hard enough to take out these forces. And there we go. Congratulations to Taro, our red Zerg player. He's in Diamond League, and he just took out a Masters player, so good for him. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed in the Masters player right here. Late expansion, and there was a bunch of other things he did wrong as well, though. I mean, the nuking was okay, but yeah, not that good. And there was the very late expansion, and there was something else as well that he did wrong. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, there we go. Finished game. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed it. This guy is still going. Why is this guy still in the game? Does he keep going? He's got another 2 minutes already. The Terran player's already left. We're not going to watch this guy wipe out the base. We're just going to finish this game up. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet, and I hope you enjoyed it.